part 3 of my Musicality series is about rubato. Rubato is a word that means to speed up or slow down the tempo, disregarding the overall tempo somewhat, but still keeping a good feel of the tempo. It doesn't keep the tempo faster or keep it slower. It's just a momentary speeding up or slowing down of that tempo. This is something that helps to kind of give a little bit more emotion to the music that's being played. So what you see over here is Chopin's Prelude in E minor. Now, if you are someone who really loves this piece and you want to learn this piece, I'm going to do a series on how to start learning any piece of music, and I'm going to use this piece of music for it. So if you want a copy of it, look down in the comments, in the description, and I'll have a link of where you can get the piece for free. So if I start the beginning without any rubato at all, sound like this. So here, that's just kind of played very flat. Still sounds very nice. Now if I play it with some rubato, you may even hear in the first 2 notes. Now I kind of in the last one did use a little bit on the first 2 notes, but I'm going to use a little bit more. So could you hear it? If you couldn't, then go back and listen again and count. Count with me and see if when you're counting with my beat the second time, does it feel like the numbers don't quite match up evenly? Then that's where rubato comes in. With this view, so you can see all of the notes that I'm playing, I'm going to play it 2 different ways. And the first way is going to be without rubato. Second way with rubato. This doesn't mean I won't be slowing down or speeding up at certain points. There are times where Chopin in this piece says to speed up or says to slow down. One example is the word stretto, which does mean to speed up. And then the word smorzando, or it just looks like S-M-O-R-Z. If you've downloaded the music, I do suggest going into the description, clicking on the link and downloading the music. It's a little better than me showing it on the screen. Those times I will be using tempo manipulation because of that. But the first time, other than that, I'm going to be doing a very even tempo. So if I do make some mistakes, it's because I'm not used to playing it this way. I like to try to be musical. But first time without, I'll have chapters so you can go back and forth and hear the difference. Now, with some rubato, you may have noticed there may have been one or two times in there where I did use a little bit. Like I said, it's more difficult than you think to play something straight through metronomically without using a metronome when you're so used to using rubato. So now with some rubato, you'll even notice in the first two notes that I play, I'm even going to use it. The last time what I did in my head was I went 1, 2, 3, 4 to try to make it as even as possible. This time I won't do that. Could you hear the difference between the two? If the answer is no, that's okay. Don't worry. It doesn't mean you have no ability to understand this. One way to do it is make sure you're able to count with the music. If you're able to count along, then the first time, except for the times where it tells me to speed up and slow down, you should notice that that count is very even. 1, 2, 3, 4. And every time you count, I'm right on the beat, except for where it gets to the stretto and smorzando section. To work on this in your own music, one thing really, like I said before, to do is do a lot of listening. Listen to other people play the music. Some music doesn't need any rubato, but for the most part, most good and especially intermediate to advanced classical music is going to need rubato to really sound musical. It's a major part of understanding the music and one of the biggest things that makes a difference between a good intermediate player and a great advanced player. If you have any comments or questions or would like to see something specific, please let me know down in the comments, and also please subscribe if you want to see more of these videos.